So this year for Future Co-ops, we were thinking about what the theme was going to be that we'd like to go for, and we looked back on the recent past in cooperatives in the UK, and it's all been quite gloomy. And we realised that whilst the kind of recent past has been quite gloomy, and quite a lot of the co-op press has been quite gloomy, actually we were working with some groups, some really inspirational people who weren't bothered about any of that and were just getting on with doing co-op-y things and in quite an inspirational way. And we thought, well, that'd be a really good theme, a really good message for the conference this year, which is how we came up with the idea of can-do co-ops. So we started on Friday with Mark Gale from the Gloucestershire Gateway Trust, and Mark is the man who spent the last 10 years, which has finally led to the opening of the Gloucester services on the M5, which started out as a community development initiative to try and create jobs for a relatively deprived bit of Gloucester, and has ended up with a scheme on the edge of Gloucester that does create a lot of employment, sources from 130 local producers, all within about 30 miles of the Gloucester services, and on top of that will generate about £10 million a year income stream, which will be donated to local causes and local charities in Gloucester. So that's quite inspirational. Everybody thought he was mad 10 years ago, including us when he started, but he's done it. And then today, on the Saturday, we've had a number of groups. We've heard from John Atherton and some worker co-op people about the Worker Co-op Solidarity Fund, where worker co-ops are contributing £1 each for each member of staff. Each member of staff is contributing individually to build up a fund to support and to underwrite the development of worker co-ops in the UK. And we heard from Hilary of Avon CDA about the National Cooperative Consortium of Development Co-ops that's bidding to try and win national contracts. We heard from Think Tiny in Oxford, which is a consortium of people who are developing and inventing solutions to everything from housing to the bee crisis in a cooperative way. We heard from the people behind the Tandem Festival, which is a cultural festival, which is they want it to be a positive, sustainable, environmental and cultural festival about Europe, with all of the negative stuff that's going on about Europe at the moment. And we heard from Helena Ward from Bond, which is the national organisation of international development bodies or international development working organisations in the UK, about how they're coming together. And she worked with delegates here to try and figure out what's the space, how can cooperatives help develop the future of international development. And then finally, which was a little bit left field even for the cooperative movement, we heard from a really inspirational young man who's just published a book called Life Cycles. His name's Julian Serra, and he cycled around the world 18,000 miles in something like 160 days, I think he said, to break the world record for cycling around the world. And one day he just decided he was going to get up and do it. And he did it on about $10 a day, completely unsupported, completely unsponsored, and it was the ultimate can-do story. And what we're hoping delegates, and the feedback that we're getting already, what we're hoping delegates will take away is a real can-do spirit about what Julian called this, really going away from here with a sense of the possible, and that if you decide to get on and do it, you really can, and you can do it as a co-op. And so it's been a really good day.